Hi, my name's Amira and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going through and doing a brush breakdown, trying to help you figure out the best brushes to pick up for your face. I've teamed up with Sigma to do this video, and as you can see, I got a lot of Sigma brushes and they weren't all sent to me. I did buy quite a lot myself as well. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Sigma brushes, so I thought I would go through and kind of, break it down so you can see like the best face brushes that I think that you guys should invest in as a beginner, because for the average person this might be a few too many brushes. Now I am a Sigma affiliate, so if you want anything from Sigma, you can use my code AMIAMA and you get 10% off, and then I get a little commission as well. So it's like a win-win for both of us. I'm the kind of person who gets really easily overwhelmed when online shopping, and if I can't figure it out as to what exactly I want, instead of just picking like one or two and seeing how they go, I just kind of freak out because I don't know, I'm just worried I'm going to make the wrong decision. So I've done this kind of video for a few different like product lines and stuff in the past. Like for Benefit, I did their like Hoola range, I did their concealer range, stuff like that. So kind of like break down to help you figure out what you wanted. So I thought that this was perfect. We can break down what face brushes that you should be getting if you're kind of starting out in makeup, or you're wanting to invest in some good quality brushes, or yeah, anything like that. So let's jump in. First up, you're going to need a foundation brush. Now my choice would be between these two right here. So first you have the F80 Flat Kabuki. This one is just your standard flat top brush. Now for a beginner, I think this is probably a lot better because it's just nice and simple. You're not going to get too overwhelmed or anything. You can just pat it into the skin and then like slightly buff it and stipple it. It's going to give you really good coverage. While I love applying foundation with a sponge, some foundations really apply way better with a actual brush. Usually foundations and BB creams and everything like that don't really have a lot of coverage or have a really watery consistency, they're going to work so much better with your foundation brush, because otherwise a sponge is going to absorb it all. If there's not much coverage to begin with, or it's just a really thin formula, yeah, your sponge is just going to soak it up. So you're really better off with a brush for products like that, as well as products that are really thick, like your stick foundations. Now if you're more advanced, just looking to invest in a good quality brush, you could definitely go your F80, or you could go the 3D Max Kabuki. Now I did a whole video about different foundation brushes for Sigma, like only a few videos ago, quite recently, and I absolutely love the 3D Max Kabuki. It is just incredible. I just love to apply with one side and then kind of buff with the other side. This is just my preference, and I like the nifty edge and stuff, but if you're a beginner you might be a bit overwhelmed by this kind of crazy shape and everything. So yeah, those are the choices. Me as a more advanced, I love the 3D Max, and if you're more of a beginner, definitely your just classic flat top won't do you any wrong. So next we have the Concealer Blend F79 brush. So this is your brush that's just going to fit perfectly under the eyes to tap in and pat out concealer under there, diffuse the edges as well. You can also use this for blending out other concealer on the face. If you really wanted, you could even kind of get away with using this for foundation, although it is really small, so you'll probably be there for a while. Definitely would say concealer, but being this kind of nice medium size brush, you're not going to be spending forever blending out your concealer. Nothing worse than spending too long doing your makeup. You just, I don't know, I don't got time for that. I want to do it as quickly as possible. Now while it isn't my holy grail cream contour brush, I actually have absolutely been loving the Curve Kabuki F83 brush recently. The average beginner probably doesn't need that, although loves it. I'll link my last Sigma foundation brush video down below where I talk about this and the other foundation brushes as well. But yeah, you can use this one, a bit more multi-purpose. I kind of find that the Curve Kabuki, you can I really only cream contour with it. I wanted to keep it a bit more streamlined because I know most people don't really use cream products that much, apparently, based from talking to them and stuff. I love them, not everyone else does. So yeah, this is a good one where you can use it for your concealer, which most people are going to be using concealer, and more people are getting into cream contouring. So, and you can still use it for powder contouring as well. You just want to make sure that there wasn't any concealer still kind of in there. Otherwise, when you put it into your powder product, it's gonna like make the powder product go a bit gross. Next up, we have the Soft Angle Contour F23 brush. Now, I've chosen this one because again, it is multi-purpose. Now, it's called a contour brush, but first up, I will show you the way that I use it first. And it's got this kind of point up at the tip here. So I like to apply my translucent powder to that, and that fits up perfectly under the eyes. I would generally use like a sponge or something, or you know, more of your like tapered highlighter brush, something along those lines. But yeah, I'm showing you guys some brushes that are multi-purpose. So this one, yeah, you can, it fits perfectly under the eye area, but also, yeah, you can use it for your contouring. Having this shape means it fits perfectly under the cheekbones to cut them out. And I just kind of start by working the product in there a few times, and then once it's kind of looking not too bad, I will take it from like that horizontal angle and I will flip it vertical, and it will just kind of disperse out that top. And it's perfect because as long as you don't go below this cheekbone point, you're not going to blend it too low. It's all just going to blend up and diffuse outwards. Absolutely gorgeous, and you can, yeah, still use it along the forehead. I kind of go around the sides of my nose with whatever is left over, and it fits perfectly under the jawline as well. So yeah, its main purpose is more that soft contouring, where it's a lot more forgiving than like a really harsh contour. So perfect for everyday, perfect for beginners, perfect for people who are trying to, yeah, get into makeup. And some products can be a lot more pigmented than you think. And if you're going in with a really dense brush, they're just going to really like pack them on, and you're gonna really struggle to blend them back. So yeah, using a brush that's a bit softer, it's gonna make it so much easier for you to work with. So I've got a couple powder brushes here that I'm gonna run through just so you can figure out which one you need, because it can be a little bit hard sometimes to kind of compare online. You don't really see, you know, just on the website, the size difference and all of that. So these are just all like your nice standard ones. So this is the F20, this is the F30 in the middle, and this is the F10. So you can see the size difference. The F20 and 30 aren't hugely different in size, but they are in density. So the F20 is a lot denser, and the F30 is a lot kind of more flimsy. Now, if you're someone who absolutely loves to pack on your powder all over your face, you're gonna want that F20 brush. I don't pack on lots of powder, so like I don't need that kind of brush. If you love to, yeah, really pack on like your powder, you'll want that one. But these ones are, yeah, probably more for the everyday person. So there is the F30 Large Powder Brush. Being that nice flimsy shape, you're going to be able to set all over the face, blend out. So I just kind of start by tapping it into the skin and then just swirling, and it's just so soft. This brush is also going to work really well for bronzing. Lots of people use powder bronzers, so yeah, you've got your F23 for that more precise contour. But if you want an overall bronze, the large powder brush F30 is going to be so perfect just to kind of swirl all over the face. Now, as I said, I do that with the cream, so I don't really swirl this one all over my cheeks, but it is perfect if you like a powder bronzer. Then you have the F10, and this is the powder blush brush. Now this is really good because it's not too big, but it is really soft still. This is going to work your powder blushes into the cheeks. You can also use this to strategically just set the T-zone if you like. So it's a bit more multi-purpose in that way. So yeah, because you can kind of fit, I kind of find the shape doesn't really allow me to set under the eyes as well, which is why I like the tip of the other brush for that. So yeah, you can use it for the blush. Now, as it is, it's still really soft. It's not going to put on too much, but I don't like strong blush. So this will pick up my more nudie kind of blushes, and I can pack them on because sometimes I struggle to get them to show up a little bit much with my other blush brush. So yeah, I'll use this one to kind of pack on a little bit more blush. Now, the other brush that I absolutely love is the Spotlight Duster F37 brush. Now, this one is kind of a bit of a multi-purpose brush for me. Now, as I said, I use a lot of cream products. I don't use a lot of powder. So this is really good after I kind of, put my translucent powder where I need. I can just kind of dust it off with this brush. And It's super kind of like really like extra flimsy. It picks up even less product. So I use this with super pigmented blushes. Now as I said, not a big blush person, and some blushes are just really pigmented. So yeah, I like to use something like this because it's just going to apply a really sheer amount. So if you like that, and if you like just a really sheer dusting of powder, this one is going to be perfect. Spotlight Duster E37, but I know most people like to go in with a little bit more product, so that's why I've started with these two. Then lastly, a fan brush. This is the Strobing Fan F42 brush. So it is a little fan brush, but it's super soft. Now I want to compare it to this one. This is just the normal fan brush, F41. So you can see how much bigger this one is, but from the side, like this one's really skinny. Can you see? I don't know, it's really skinny, and I find it's just really firm. Now I got this one because you can get it in copper, and I always try and buy the Sigma brushes in copper if they have a copper version. So when I was trying to choose between these two online, I went with this one because yeah, it came in the copper, but it was a bit too kind of firm for me to use for my highlighter. It just ended up being like a stripe. So I ended up using it more so for blush, for when I want really sheer blushes. So I like this one, the F42, because it's just a bit softer, and you can still use it to apply blush as well. So again, if you have a really pigmented blush, it's just going to apply a really sheer amount. Again, your highlighter. So this is just going to really apply that highlighter super defined, and then I just kind of twist it again to the side when it's mostly on, and that's just going to diffuse it that last little bit. Now again, you can use something like your tapered highlighter brush to apply your highlighter, but again, this brush I kind of can only really use to stay under my eyes and apply my highlighter. A brush like this, the Strobing Fan, you can use for your highlighter. It fits up under to highlight the brow bone. You can apply your blush with it. You can dust away any bakeage that you're doing. I find that it's just a bit more universal, even though I don't see many people using fan brushes, but fan brushes are actually super universal, so that's why we have this one in here. Now I could talk forever about my favorite face brushes. I could just keep going on and showing you 1,000,001 different ways to use them, but these are just kind of, you know, the most simple kind of perfect beginner ones for anyone to try out. While I have some brushes that I really like, these ones specifically, I've shown you a few different ways to use them, so you're definitely going to get your money's worth out of these ones. Sigma have so many different brush sets on their website as well, so I'm going to leave a few of my favorite recommendations down below. You can go through those and see which ones have brushes that you really want to try in them, and just kind of see what works with your budget as well, because the brush sets do end up being cheaper than buying individual brushes, and you still will get your 10% off on that from using my code AMIAMAY. So I hope this video has really helped you out. I really like breaking down different kind of collections and sets and everything. I think it really helps that everyday person figure out what it is that they want, especially since we do so much online shopping where you can't always see the products in person first. Please let me know below what your favorite brushes are and what other kind of breakdown videos you guys want to see, because I'm really enjoying doing them. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and we will see you all next time. Bye guys.